14 years old, and I live in Henderson, Minnesota. And it's got a small little town, and we live pretty much in the middle of nowhere in the country. I have been working with, like, dogs particular, like, for ever since I was, like, really, really little. And I'd always go out there and try to work with my Goldens. When I was really little, my mom would train dogs for Helping Paws, and that's an organization that helps people in wheelchairs and trains service dogs for them. And so my mom would be a trainer, and I would help train some of the dogs. I really started working with dogs about when I was in third grade, about the summer of second grade, and then I brought it to 4-H around in third grade. I started wanting to do some showmanship and confirmation shows with Summer. Then we also got another potential brood bitch for Helping Paws, Honey. I wanted to show her in some confirmation classes. In 4-H, I did dog training. With that, I took Summer and we did just basic obedience. We did showmanship. And then I really had a lot of fun with agility. And then with Honey, I did a bunch of AKC with both of them. Dogs has helped me a lot with training with horses because it has taught me feeling timing. Like, I had this one Golden, and she was a spaz ball if I've ever seen one. I mean, there's 4 photos in a row, and one she's like this. And these photos are taken one after the next, so it's not 5 minutes from now. When you train her, you had to be perfect. So you'd have to once she sat, you had to give her the treat right then. Otherwise, if you wait a split second later, she'd be off chasing a leaf that goes by or a rock. I was really little. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but it was pretty much ever since I knew about horses. And I remembered I'd always go around talking about this fake horse that I named her Jackie. And I remember Mom and Dad, they promised me I'd get a horse when I was 11. That did not happen. So, okay, I remember this pretty much as clear as day. Okay, so I told Mom, because I kept bugging her, that she needed to call the riding place where I went to for a while, to get me up for another lesson. And I was just sitting there, staring at her. Oh, you don't have any more lessons, and I hear, Carol on the other end, and oh, no, we don't have any more lessons. I got kind of sad, But then Mom ran up the stairs, and hide in privacy. I'm like, well, that's awkward, But then, I kind of sneak up there, and then she sounded kind of happy. She's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, what? Mom got off the phone, and she said that the riding horse that I used to ride is for sale, and that I could have it. And with it would come a companion horse, which was Tootsie, and then the horse that I rode was Ben, and I was pretty happy that I had them. That's pretty much what happened. Well, Ben, I had taken lessons on him for the past year and a half, around there. He used to be a cow pony. Well, he's a cow pony. He used to be worked out west with the cowboys. And Benny is a foundation quarter horse, so he has your nice Roman nose and your high withers, and he's pretty sweet with a long barrel on him. He's cute. He has his little mane, and then Toots, all the girls like Ben, and then Toots is nice and muscular. She's your nice looking quarter horse, so all the guys think Toots is very manly and like Toots. So you got the girls that my horse, they think he's all a little cute and always put sparkles on his butt. Then you have Toots, it's very manly, I guess, so. Well, at first I was pretty mad, because I remember on my 11th birthday, I thought I was going to get this horse, and I was all excited. Well, I ended up getting a bunch of lessons. But I know why they waited now. It was because my mom just knows a lot about dogs. And my dad knows how to ride horses and stuff, but, none of my parents know how to take care of horses. And so it'd just be me taking care of them and me training them and me doing everything because I'm the horse person. No one else here knows about horses. Yeah, and then we got offered a barn, which we moved the top half of it and built the bottom. And then we built the fencing and everything else, and the stalls. And I chose this method because at first when we got the horses, we knew Toots hasn't been worked in 2 whole years. And then Benny, he had, he wasn't that bad, but he'd always have his head, he would throw his head a lot. And he had some, some minor issues, and he was really, really, wouldn't stop at the canter. Like, he would get all, like, ready to go, like, if he's looking for a cow or something, you know, because he'd all get hyper and stuff. Yeah. He used to be really, really stiff. Like, you just picked it, and he'd like, you know. Oh, my mom and dad went to the library. And they looked for some horse training videos. And it just happened to be that the first older groundwork series of Clinton's was there. And we watched that. And there's other guy, too. I don't know who he was, but there's some other older guy. I don't know. And so there's Clinton's, though, too. And we were watching both of them. And, like, you know, Clinton's made a lot more sense than the other guys, you know, had all the troubleshooting and everything like that. So that's when we first learned about it. First got the horses, it was like 3 years ago. I remember I was sitting in bed. I woke up one morning. I'm like, okay, I should probably figure out which one I want to do, because I really want to, you know, start doing something, you know. And I want to, you know, pick a method and go with it. So I was sitting there, I woke up one morning, and I was just like, okay, well, you know, so at this time I really didn't know a lot about any horse trainer, you know, and didn't know the pros and cons to any of them. So I was sitting there, I'm like, well, they both seem about equal to me, you know, but I was like, tiebreaker. Clinton's from Australia. Awesome accent. That was my tiebreaker 3 years ago. I chose to do DVDs because I could train myself, and then, you know, I can go over and take lessons, you know, every once in a while to see how I'm doing or something. But I haven't been in lessons for over two years, and it's improved a lot, so it was worth it. I remember when I first went out there with Toots, I asked her to go, and obviously she stood there, you know, flicking cigarette butts at me, you know, and, you know, I was like, you know, clocking, you know, and she didn't go, so I had, you know, my stick, you know, and I whacked her on the neck, you know, and it got a little harder. All of a sudden, she just practically just took off. And then every 5 seconds, she kept, like, swinging her butt to me. And then after she swung her butt, I'd whack it really hard. Then she would turn her front end to me, and I'd whack her, you know, in the neck or wherever I could, you know. And then she'd turn her butt again, you know. And it's pretty much back and forth, you know. And I'm just like, at that time, I was just like, if I live through this, I think I'll be okay. And this is, like, the first, I really didn't know what I was doing back then either, you know. And then finally, like, it's so funny. After I got through her mind, she was like this perfect little angel, and I'm just like, God, okay, I think I'm okay now. And well, Ben used to like throw his head up a lot, you know, and we were told, you know, get a tie down, you know. Well, they're tie down, and we couldn't figure out how to work it, so we never used it. It would always drag on the ground, you know. I got him now. The first year I got him to not throw his head. He would still have it up in the air, like, constantly. Oh, my God, it was so annoying. Now, like, I worked with him, like, a lot this past summer. And he was so bad at stopping but now I just sit right down in the seat, and he, like, goes right to his stop. Now you just barely pick up on the reins, and he's so light. And he never used to know what, you know, leg cues without, like, you know, reins. But now I can pretty much ride him around the field with no reins. You know, I just, every once in a while, after I worked him for a while, just set the reins down, and I just ride around without any reins. My goals with Toots, so I want her just to be like the all-around horse. My goals for Beth is I want to learn cow, like, sorting with him. Well, right now, my goals for myself are just to get pretty good, or like I want to get really good at training horses. And my big dream goal, if that's I'll say that my big dream goal is to eventually work as a certified clinician. Mom and Dad say my goals are to get a good education. In this past year, my friend bought a horse. Well, the horse is reactive and spooky, so she wanted to, like, get it desensitized and train and all that. So I said I'd be willing to go over there. She's my friend and stuff. And so I went over there this past fall, and I was working with her horse, Corona, and Arab cross with a quarter horse. The way it trains, because super lazy, like, it doesn't want to go forward. You know, it just wants to sit around and gain weight. But super fine line, because if you overdo something, it has the Arab comes out of it, and it spazzes. At the time, because I, didn't know that the thing was only ridden in a bosal, and it's bucked her off, or taken off with the bosal on, and and the thing, and it's kind of like a halter, so the thing, and it's been lunged before, or tried to be lunged before, but the thing would always take off. And so, plus me not being inexperienced, forgot to do the backing up before I lunged the horse, but I already did desensitizing, and it did really good at that. I was super surprised about that. I taught it to yield its hindquarters, and it did really good at that too. And I'm just like, okay, well, it's doing such a great job. I was just going ahead of myself. And I'm like, okay, let's just try to lunge it, And so I asked it to go. It doesn't go, it just kind of throwing his head up in the air. I'm clucking, tapping it, tapping the air, and it finally goes. And the thing is, it's kind of a spaz, and it's just running around me. And I keep pulling at its head. Well, all of a sudden, like, something kicks in. It's like memory kicks in. And he's like, oh yeah, all I gotta do is stick my nose out, and I don't have to work. And so it just sticks its nose out, and I can't do anything now. Now I know that it just needs to start in the round pen. So I learned to laugh at that, but it was fun. So my plans for Corona is so that she can ride it, and so she can do some games and some pleasure with it, and just have fun with the horse without it practically taking off. I just think it'd be cool that if she could go to the county fair, and everyone would ask her, oh, how did the horse, who trained the horse or whatnot. I just think it'd be so cool if she went to the county fair, and she told everybody, oh yeah, Sarah trained my horse, and it actually turned out okay, it turned out good or whatnot, I just think that'd be really, really cool.